yourself African American, or Haitian, Jamaican, Chinese, or Caucasian, which one your dad came from? Jew, right? Who else? You know who else from the tribe of Judah? Christ from the tribe of Judah. We from the tribe of Judah. That's why we can hang the trees and all that. You see that? They shot the street. Right there, Christ. Like I said, Hebrews 7:14. Like I said.
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14.
Bring it out.
For it is evident
It is evident, meaning it's known that what?
that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
This is our Lord. Yeah. The church, they teach this is Christ. Right? What do they teach out of that? You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to read this in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible. Have you ever read that Christ looked like a Caucasian man? With a goat screwing up? You heard he had white lily, right? John is down at the street. He's speaking the color of the grass. Right? And what is the color of grass? Brownish. And then he also said brown. That's the color of grass. Where's the pig in John? We're gonna find some grass right now. I guarantee
So
you.
you saying the color of a penny?
A color of a pig. And then he said it was right, we're gonna read it. Watch this, Revelation.
Well, they
Revelation.
don't like Revelation. I love Revelation.
Everything that I go to, you tell me them preachers don't like certain books.
No, not when I was before. You know, all they wanted to say was you're gonna have a $500 check from the mail. I told you I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I want to hear the word.
There you go. Watch, bring it out.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 1.
Bring it out.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
This is the revelation of Jesus Christ was about to reveal to you. That's what the word revelation means, to reveal.
Which God gave it to him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
God gave it to John. John wrote the
Saint
revelation.
John?
Yes. He was in prison on the island of Patmos, right? And watch this.
Verse 10.
Verse 10.
I was in the spirit on the Lord's day.
John was in the spirit on the Lord's day. Today is the Lord's day, the Sabbath. Right?
How you come to that conclusion?
Bring it to you. Watch this.
I was in the spirit on the Lord's day
Huh?
and heard behind me a great voice
John turned around and you heard a great voice talking to him, right? And what did it say?
as of a trumpet saying,
Loud as the trumpet. An old black man saying something real loud. What did it say?
I am Alpha and Omega,
Uh-huh.
the first and the last.
That's right.
And what thou seest,
Christ said, what you seeing right now, John?
write it in a book.
He said, write it in a book. Because he knew this day, these days, people's gonna think this is Christ. So Christ specifically said, John, what you seeing, write this in the book. Understand? What did he say?
And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
Uh-huh.
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
John, write this down. It's on something. Right?
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
This is some candlesticks. What did he see?
one like unto the Son of Man,
Right?
clothed with a garment down to the foot, with a girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Christ had a long garment on. A girdle on. Right? What did he see?
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
John, right? His hair was white like wool. So who had woolly hair? Black people, right? Not white people. White people don't have woolly hair. And what else he said?
As white as snow,
That's the color. It was as white as snow, right?
and his eyes was a flame of fire,
Eyes was a flame of fire, all right?
and his feet like unto fine brass,
John looked down at his feet and he was like, man, that's like fine brass.
as if they burned in the furnace.
As if they burned in the furnace. It was so brown as if it burned in the furnace. When you burn anything in the furnace, see what I'm saying? So John writing what Christ said, write it in the book. Right? So this whole time we thought this was Christ. You know who this person really is? Well, this was a real man walking here.
Yes, he was. That's is that the one that beheaded?
No. That's what it says. Caesar Borgia, right? He's the image of the beast. This is Pope Alexander VI's son, all right? During the Renaissance era, Pope Alexander was a king. He was ruling everything. So he made his son the emblem of Christ. When Christopher Columbus came down here in 1400s to enslave the Indians, the native Indians that was over here, they brought that picture with them. You see? And then they put it in their face and said, this is Christ. And they killed 100 million of them Indians, the native Indians, right? This was the Northern Kingdom that was here in America first, from Ephraim all the way down. See that? The Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, Dominicans, Guatemalans, and Mexicans, and all of them. This is the Northern Kingdom. We are the Southern Kingdom, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is the Jamaicans, the Haitians, and the so-called African Americans. We was on that side of the earth at that time in Africa still, walking around with Christ when Christ was walking the earth. The Native American was over here, and all the other Indians was over here at this time.
But I'm confused because before Christ was discovered in Revelation, when he was walking the earth,
Right?
He read it in Revelation when he
Go to
came back.
Daniel. Go to Daniel. Watch yourself.
But Daniel is in the chapter.
So we're gonna go to the Old Testament.
Daniel should have
Let's do it. Hey, that was a great question. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. That was a great question. With Daniel, watch yourself.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5.
Now Daniel was during the time of Babylon.
Right.
All right. That was like what? 500 something BC.
400 years before Christ.
Okay. So watch what Daniel saw.
This is Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes
Daniel lifted up his eyes.
and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold and Uphaz.
Similar same thing he saw what John saw. And watch this.
His body also like the beryl,
Like the beryl. Because he had a long garment on which is green. That's what beryl is.
and his face as the appearance of lightning.
His face was like
See,
light.
lightning is light.
Man, finished. All right.
Wisdom.
Finished. It's wisdom. That's what light is.
And his eyes as lamps of fire,
Eyes as lamps of fire.
and his arms
His arms
and his feet
and his feet.
like into color
Like it's a color. It's gonna
to
tell you.
polished brass.
Like polished brass. You see that? So Daniel saw his arms and his feet like in color. Was he just
No,
said?
I mean the face, like you said, was the face was actually shielded by the light.
No.
He didn't want nobody to see his face.
Yeah, and all that was saying was
Right.
wisdom and knowledge and
But he
understanding.
saw the arms and the
Saw the
feet.
arms and the feet.
Give it the most high.
Give it the Most High. That's two chapters, a few chapters behind.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 9.
And you also saw the Father, the Most High.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down,
I beheld to the thrones was cast down. Meaning, go ahead, keep going.
and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days did sit. This is the Most High. He was sitting. So now that's Daniel saying that the Most High has a what? Sit. A body. See that?
Whose garment was white as snow,
His garment was white as snow.
and the hair of his head
Uh-oh, now Daniel looking at his hair. And what his hair was.
like the pure wool.
So God hair was woolly too. See that? That's why Christ said, if you see me, you saw my Father. You see my Father. You see that? And all of us, he said, we like him. We all one body. You understand?
Look at these young
Yeah, we're gonna get that. Yep.
Joel chapter 3, verse 3.
Check this out, sis.
And they have cast lots for my people,
And they have cast lots for my people, casting lots, right?
and have given a boy for a harlot,
Giving a boy for a harlot. They selling us for like, back in them days, you know, we had like our great grandfather, you know, I don't want to use a bad name. What's a good word? They were hard. They were sleeping with a lot of our antique bed wenches and stuff like that, right?
and sold a girl for wine,
Selling girls for wine
that they might drink.
that they might drink.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Tyre and Sidon are the Africans, right? This is the Most High speaking. See, this is the transatlantic slave trade right here, what we're reading right here. This is when we came over here in America, all right? This was prophesied that we was going to come here in America, right here in Joel, watch.
And all the coast of
And
Palestine.
all the coast of Palestine, that's the Arabs. See that? And watch this here.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if you
Go ahead.
recompense me,
Uh-huh.
swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
God see what you're doing, my people. Speak. I'm going to turn this back onto your own head, right? What else it say?
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold,
He didn't say it was gold. He said, God have taken my silver and gold. This is transatlantic slave trade. They took it from that, right? And watch.
and carried into your temples my good and pleasant things.
Right?
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem
Children of Judah, of these three, and also the children of Jerusalem. That's the children of Israel. We all make up the children of Israel. 12
have
tribes of Israel.
have ye sold to the
They
Grecians,
sold us to the Grecians. That's the white man. See that? So the Arabs and the Africans sold us to the white man right there. We're just reading it out of the book. And what it say?
that ye might remove them far from their borders.
They removed us far from our borders. Look. We in
Y'all
Africa.
taping? I'm gonna be on Facebook.
Little bit. I'm gonna mess with this part, y'all. Let's check it out. They removed us far from our borders. See that? They came over here in Africa. The reason how we got in Africa, we was in Jerusalem at first. The Romans came and sacked Jerusalem, right? So we ran into Africa so we can blend in with
Honestly, I
Africa.
thought we was in Europe.
No, we was in Jerusalem. We was in Jerusalem. We ran into Africa during the Roman persecution during 70 AD. When white man came to sack and burn down our temples and destroy us. We ran into Africa. A lot of us ran into Africa.
Well, we was in Europe
Yeah,
too.
we was in
We
Europe
was
too.
all,
Yeah,
we was
we was
scattered.
all over.
We was scattered everywhere.
Yeah, we were scattered.
And we still
all right?
scattered.
I'm gonna bring it to you. Give me Deuteronomy 28:64.
All right.
2 more minutes.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64.
Bring it out.
The Lord shall scatter thee among all the people, from one end of the earth even unto the other.
See that?
And there thou shalt serve other gods,
It's gonna be serving other
which
gods.
neither
Serving
thou
us.
nor thy fathers have known,
Our fathers never knew
even
these gods.
even wood and stone.
Even wood and stone. Wood is that so-called Christianity. Stone is that Allah, that Muslim stuff. Our fathers, they never knew that stuff. We knew him. We knew Yahweh shot. You see that? We knew a black Christ. We didn't know no white Christ. See that?
All right.
Hey, hey, honey bun.
You understand that, sis? So we from the children of Israel. Alright? Give me Isaiah 1 and 3 right quick.
And this the last one. Y'all get a building and I'm gonna come on the
You
stage.
gonna come in there? Okay,
Yeah.
all praise. You have a flyer? We can give a flyer?
Yeah, no, right there. They got,
There you go.
I love knowledge is power.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3.
This is our YouTube page down there and our Facebook page, alright? Don't subscribe and like and comment. You'll see this video.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3.
Bring it out.
The ox knoweth his owner,
Nah, there's a dumb animal. He know
Right.
what his own is.
and the ass his master's crib.
That's a jackass.
Right.
He know his crib, right? For what?
But Israel,
But who? We Israel.
do not know.
We don't know.
My people do not
We
consider.
don't know who the hell we is, sis.
We really don't.
Now you know today.
Okay.
Now you know today. You
Back
from what?
then, the Israelites.
You're Israelite, huh? From what tribe? There you go, sis.
Ah.
See that, sis? Watch this. Give me Jeremiah 17 and 4. Watch this. sis.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Now the reason why the Most High, we about to read something the Most High did to us. Because we stopped following his what?
Command.
There you go. Now watch this here.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And thou, even thyself,
Uh-huh.
shall discontinue from thine heritage
So Most High saying, I'm going to discontinue from y'all heritage.
that I gave thee.
That he gave us. He gave us this heritage. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. That's his sons right there. And we stem from one of them sons, but we come from Judah. Right? And what it say?
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not.
Okay? I will cause you to serve your enemies to a land. This is a land we never knew. We didn't know this land over here. We didn't never knew this land. Go ahead.
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger,
You made him pissed off. You made him pissed off.
which shall burn forever.
Give me Sirach 17:11. He said it's going to burn forever. He's mad at us. See that? Now I'm about to show you what our heritage is. Yeah? Watch yourself.
So, go back to Good Times, the show. Remember when Michael said,
You saw that? That's right. That's right.
Sirach chapter 17, verse 11.
Bring it out.
Beside this, he gave them knowledge
He gave us knowledge beside this. Watch.
and the law,
And the what?
and the law
The
of
law.
life
The law of life is the commandments is what?
for inheritance.
That's our heritage. All right? So when we start to learn our commandments, that's our heritage. We're going to come back to who we are. It's the children of Israel. See that? You got that sense? So you have to come back to the commandments, the law. That's the commandments. Wearing the dress. Remember that? Wearing the dress, sis. Wearing fringes.
Brought it out.
Yeah, yo, yeah, she read it. She read it in
so the
Deuteronomy.
fringes for what?
Bring out Numbers 15. Watch this, sis.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38.
All of these are the law. It's
I'm
commandments.
gonna read it again too. I like
All praise.
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Check this out.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Speak unto the children of Israel. The whole Bible is about Israel. It's about us.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Command them that they make them fringes on the borders of their garments. See, we all got fringes. We following our heritage
Throughout their generation.
throughout our generation. Meaning, as long as we generate, you gotta wear this. That's what he commanded. Our Father commanded us to do this, not nobody else. Everybody on this list, he commanded them to do this, right?
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders
Right.
a ribbon of blue.
You put a ribbon of blue. We all have different blues, but they blue. See that? This is the law. This is our heritage. See that? He just continued this from us during the American captivity. We didn't know we didn't know we was Israel. But when we was in all these other captivities, in the Babylonian, and the Assyrian, and the Persian Mede, and the Roman, and the Greek, we knew who we were. But this captivity here, he took it away from us. But he's giving it back to us now. You see? That's why you're standing here not learning. You say your son do this too, right? Well, ask him a question. Ask him a question. Exodus 20 and 8 right quick. Let me bring the
Then I'm
Sabbath. The
gone.
Sabbath. This is the Sabbath. This is the Sabbath, right?
Exodus chapter 20, verse 8.
Check it, bring it out.
What is that?
It's
Exodus 20, verse 8.
That's once again, that's from the Old Testament.
They're scared of that. They're scared of going to that. But what did you read in John 5 and 45? What did it say? If you believe in Moses, you have to believe in me, right? He said he's speaking the volume of the book. Bring it out. Watch this, sis.
Exodus chapter 20,
No,
verse
bring what you're about to bring out. Watch this, sis.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17.
Bring it out.
Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Christ said, think not that I come to destroy the law. Where did the law come from? The Torah, first 5 books. And what else it said?
Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
That's right.
I'm not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
It's coming to fulfill. Watch what Brother James got you. All right, go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass,
So heaven and earth pass.
one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
All be fulfilled.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments,
You break one of these least commandments, like wearing fringes, or you don't want to wear your dress, if you break one of these least commandments,
and shall teach men so,
and you teach men so, right?
he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
And you get into the kingdom of heaven. But watch this.
But whosoever shall do and teach them,
But if you do or teach them that you're supposed to follow these commandments,
the same shall be called great in the kingdom of
the
heaven.
same shall be called freedom.
For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees,
That's right.
ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
See that sense? Stop it.
I know you say that's the Old Testament. You want to let my brother read something out the New Testament. Read Matthew chapter 22, verse 36.
Now, y'all know I hit my foot at work.
All right, you want me to
Sit right
I
here.
just
Sit
want,
right here. Sit
No,
right
I'm
here.
good. I don't
I
want
just want to bring something out to you right now.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 36.
Go to verse 35. Something
Verse 35. Then one of them, which was a lawgiver, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment?
Hold it right there. So what is the great commandment? Keep reading.
What is the great commandment in the law?
In the law. Right? Read.
Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love thy Lord,
Where's that?
love the Lord.
Where's that at right here?
I said, love the Lord.
Read again. Keep reading.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Keep reading.
This is the first and great commandment.
Read on.
And the second one is like unto it.
Read on.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Where's that right here?
I said, love thy neighbor.
But I know that because I read that. I know what he said is true because I done saw that in the book.
In the Old Testament.
Right, I'm going to show it to you. Where is that? In Deuteronomy 6 and 5, and go to Leviticus 19 and 18.
I have saw that. So I know.
So when they say that, well, that's well, the greatest two commandments is in the Old Testament.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Leviticus 19 and 18.
So what are you proving?
This is Exodus chapter 20.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people,
Read on.
but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Well, Christ got them two greatest commandments from.
And if you love, look, and if you love,
Give me Romans 13 and 8.
if you love, this is what's going to happen. But that's a great commandment. If you love, you ain't going to break all these commandments. You know what I mean?
Romans chapter 13, verse 8. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another had fulfilled the law.
If you love your brother, you won't kill your brother.
1 John 5 and 3.
You're not supposed to.
First John,
That's right, that's right.
First John chapter 5, verse 3.
Check it out.
You're not supposed to what? You gotta remember when Cain and Abel did that, they first of all, when Adam messed up in the garden, all these things was gonna come to pass. Murder, women having pains and pregnancy. So I fought Adam for
But we fought.
how
Right,
everything
right.
started
But
transpiring.
who sinned first? Was the man or the woman? The woman brought that back to Adam and showed Adam all these different philosophies. Watch this out. I'm gonna give it a 1 John first, right quick.
First John chapter 5, verse 3.
This is right. When he says love is a greater commandment, right? Watch.
For this is the love of
So
God,
this is the love of God that Christ was talking about.
that we keep his commandments.
See that? That we keep his commandments.
And
So
his
this love,
commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
it's not hard. The commandment's not
Well,
hard.
that's my prayer. Even though I always pray for my neighbors. I
Where
mean,
you from?
that's
Yeah, this is what it is. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13.
Bring it out.
But Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Say that again. Adam was not what?
Adam was not deceived,
That's right.
but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
She was in the
right,
transgression.
because the serpent came to her first.
So what was the serpent? Was it a snake or was it a person?
A snake.
It was a person. See that?
How when they only had them on the earth?
There was multiple men and women back in the days. It wasn't just Adam and Eve. When the Most High created fish, he created a lot of fish. When he created whales, birds, he created a lot of birds. When he created man, he created a lot of people, not just Adam and Eve. The church teaches that it was just them two. See that? That was
In
a
the
lie.
beginning.
In the beginning. It was
Genesis chapter 4,
That's what I was saying.
chapter 4, verse 15. It said, and the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay Cain. And I'm pushing, who's the whosoever? Who's the whosoever? This is after Cain killed Abel.
So it was just Adam and Eve. And Adam and Eve made Cain and Abel, right? That was the two sons at first. So when Cain killed Abel,
He reading down in verse 17, saying Cain knew his wife. Where Cain got his wife
what
from?
was his wife? Where she come from?
See those little itty bitty things you don't pay attention to.
There you go, sis.
See that?
Yeah. So I mean, they had multiple people out there. Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel were the only people out there. So after Cain killed Abel, he went and married his wife, right? The Most High had that wicked spirit in Cain. That's what the white man had in them today. That wicked spirit like Cain back in them days. See that?
Well, this has been very interesting.
praise.
I appreciate it. Glad I stopped. Knowledge is power. I learned something today.
What about that dress? You gonna have that dress on next time we see you? The fringes and border blue up.
How many gates to heaven?
I'm a work in progress.
How many gates in heaven then? How many gates in heaven? Well, no, I mean, the church teaches us one. Now, everybody gets that kind of gate, right?
Is it 12?
There you go.
Why they got 12?
Where you get that from?
I told you my son be telling me some stuff too, and I be reading on stuff.
So actually, it's 12 gates for the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm gonna get it out of the Bible. Watch.
This is Revelation chapter 21, verse 12. And had a wall great and high,
It had a wall great and high.
and had 12 gates.
How many gates?
Had 12 gates,
See that?
and at the gates 12 angels.
That's 12 angels. Big old mighty black angels.
And the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's it. That's the only people getting in the gates, sis. Everybody else gonna be servants and handmaids. They're gonna be doing their part from the outside of the gates. Right. We're gonna be running this earth. That's right. That's where the kingdom gonna be at right here on earth. It's not gonna be up there in the third heavens. You know, like the preachers try to teach us in the schools or in the Bible classes. Nah. Heaven gonna be here on earth. Heaven is a condition. When you're in power, you're in heaven. We in hell right now, because we ain't got no power. All people dying left and right. See? White man got power. Look, he's standing right there at the light. Everybody got to stop. This is his heaven. This is his heaven. See what I'm saying?